Today's daf is Masechet Nedarim Daf Chaf Zayin. So the Gemara is going to finish up. We're in the middle of discussing Machlokes Rabba and Rava of how to learn the Mishnah, the din of Neder Huter K'tzasai Huter Kulei. So the Gemara asks a question here. Eisvei Ravina, we are on the third to last line, Chavav and Beis. Eisvei Ravina la Rava. Ravina asks Rava a question. We learned in a Brisa. The Brisa says, Rav Nasan Omer. Nasan says, Yesh neder shemiktasei muter, miktasei aser. There is a neder which is partially muter, partially aser. Ketzad, what's the case? Nedarim and kalkala. If someone was meider hana from a basket full of figs which was in front of him, v'hayu ba b'nei shuach, and it turns out that there were also some good figs in there which are called b'nei shuach. And he said, "Ilo yisidesh b'nei shuach." He said, "Had I known that there were inside that basket some figs of b'nei shuach, I would have not made the neder, because I did not want to ask myself on enough from the good ta'anim." So Rav Nasan says in the Brisa, Hakal Kol Asur, the halacha is that the rest of the ta'anim in the basket are asur, b'nei shuach mutaris, and b'nei shuach, the good ones, are mutar. Achabar Rekiva, until Rekiva came and he argued Rav Nasan, and Veli made, and he taught that neder shotim k'tzasai huter kulei, a neder that a little part of the neder is mutter, so everything becomes mutter, and therefore even sha'ar ta'anim will be mutter. So Zok Gemara Ma'ilab, isn't it talking about the Omar, where after it's the spar that there were good ones of the b'nei shuach, he said, "Ilu yisideh, had I known b'nei shuach b'seicha, hayisi ayim ta'anim shcheres levanis," and I would have said that the shcheres, the black and white ones, the ones that don't look good, are aser, and b'nei shuach mutter. Rabbi Akiva, and it must be going like Rabbi Akiva that says that the whole kakala is mutter and upliga rabbanon, and that the rabbanon would hold that even if you switch your words later on, it's not hutakal neder. And that will be shver on Rava. It says that when you switch your words afterwards, that l'kuli alma tutakulai. So you see, not like Rava learned. So the Gemara loy. The Brisa is not talking about a case where he switches words. Rather, but Omer ilo yisideh shebnei shuach b'seicha hayisi Omer kol asur b'nei shuach mutaris. It's talking about where he did not switch a lashon and another. Rather, he says, I would have added on. I would have said kol asura, like the original lashon, but b'nei shuach is mutter. And the Rabbanon would hold like Bishamai that it's not hutakal neder, and Rabbi Akiva that the Brisa brings would hold like Bishelo that even in this case it's hutar kulei. So that's the Gemara answers that question. Zak the Gemara weiter. Man Tana, who is the Tana that learned this? That the Rabbanan said in the Brisa, Nadar mechamisha b'nei adam ke'echad. If somebody aser himself on 5 people, hutar la'echad me'em, hutar kulon. If he's hutar, if he becomes mutter to one of them, then all of them become mutter.
I was calling you.
But if he says, chutz me'echa mehen, then the halacha is, and that person is mutter, and the rest are aser. So now Zakta Gemara, ila Rabba. If you want to say the Brisa is going according to Rabba, then you can say the Reisha is talking about is going like Rabbi Akiva. The Reisha says that if he's machlav dvarav, then they say it's hutar kuloi in the Reisha. You could say that's going like Rabbi Akiva only, because according to Rabbanon would not agree with that. They would say even if you machlav dvarav, it's not hutar kuloi. And you can say the Seifa, according to Rabbah, is talking where it says in the Seifa that it says Chutz Me'echad Lehen, that he's mutter and the other ones are still asar. That you could say is going Divrei Hakol. Because even Rabbi Akiva holds when he's being maimed his first words, then it's not Hutar Kulei. Ila Rava, and if you want to say this, if you want to explain this Bryce according to Rava, the Seifa is talking about the Ila Rava, and if you want to touch up the Bryce according to Rava, then you could say the Seifa is talking about this, that it says that if he stands by his first word is the whole neder is not mutter, that's going like to Rabbanan. Why? Because like Rabbi Akiva, even if he goes with his first words, the whole neder is mutter. And the Reisha, which is mashma, which is if he switches his words, it says that it's the whole thing's mutter. That you could say, according to Rava, is going to Divrei Hakol, that even if he switches his words, everyone holds Hutam Ktsasai. That when he switches his words, everyone holds Hutam Ktsasai Hutar Kulei. So that is Rava and Rabba Lagav the Halacha of Hutam Ktsasai Hutar Kulei. Now we have a new Mishnah. So the Mishnah in the beginning of the Parak Daf Chaf, the Mishnah said that there's 4 Nedarim which are mutter. One of them is Nedarim Einsin. So now the Mishnah is going to explain what is Nedarim Einsin. Zok the Mishnah. Nedarim Einsin. What's Nedarim Einsin? Hidiru Chaveiroi Sheyochel Etzlai. If a guy asked his friend to invite him, and in order to make it a strong invite, he told his friend, you know what, make a neder that if I don't eat by you, all your nechasim are going to be asar on me. And hidiru chaveroi sheyachal tzlai. So he made a neder that he should eat with him, and it ended up happening at chalahu. The guy got sick. The guest got sick, or a river held him back. These are nidrei einsin and mutter, because he did not make a neder al das that einus is going to happen and hold him back from coming. Therefore, it's nidrei einsin, and it's a mutter de neder. Zok de Gemara ahu gavra. There was a person that he had a din Torah with his friend, and he asked Bezin to give him time that he could come up with rayas to bring them to Bezin. And Dayana Mechoshish that he was just trying to push off and delay the din Torah. So who gavra the atvizach beidina. So Bezdin grabbed the So not Bezin. So this guy, because he noticed that Bezin was afraid, he's just stamazai trying to push off the din Torah. So he grabbed the star that says the his chusim of Bezdin, and this person said, if I do not come with my rice before 30 days, labat lahani zachvasai. So these the chusim which the Dayanim have on me should be baton. They should not be able to use to help me out. Itnis, Lamaisa, he became an Einus. V'layas, and he did not show up until after 30 days. Rav Huna said, even though he's an Einus, Batal Zachvasei, even though he's an Einus, since he did not show up before 30 days, his Chosam Batal. Since he did not make a Tanai in the beginning that if he's an Einus, then his Chosam should not be Batal. So therefore, since he did not say that if he's an Einus, then it's not going to happen. Therefore, you say that he's mischaven that b'chol oifen, if he does not show up before 30 days, then it's batal. Amar Rava. So Rava told Rav Huna, what do you mean? The guy's a einus, they didn't show up before 30 days. The Torah pat is a einus from einchin the chsiv. Where do we learn it out from? It says v'lanayr leisasa davar devarim perichaf beis pasuk chavav. And it's talking about a naira that was nensa in the field. So Dr. Gemara, we learn out in the case where the Naira is Nansa Basada and she was screaming and nobody heard her, and so you learn out from there, you pot her. She doesn't get a punishment. So too over here, where he was an oinus and he was held back from coming to Bezin until after 30 days, he should not lose his chusim. Maybe you'll say that the oinish of Misa is different. And Dafil Gabi Misa you'll say, which is Chamar, the Torah Pater is a oinus, but by Bidini Mammon a Tanai would be Chal, even if it's a oinus. Fracting more of a Tanah, Nidri Oinsin, Hidur Chaver Shechel, it's Levichal, Hushchal, Benoy Shek Venor, Raylin Nidri Oinsin. Gemara, know what I mean? What do you mean? You see about oinus you potter because you have our Mishnah that says Nidri Oinsin, Hidur Chaver Shechel, and it's Chala. Then he's potter. So just like Nidra Einstein is mutter because he did not have in mind that the nether should be chal, so too this person did not have in mind that he's going to have einus and he's going to lose his chusim by not coming back before 30 days. So he deserves his chusim, just like you find by Nidra Einstein. Zok the Gemara. So now the Gemara asks for Rava, and according to Rava, the Gemara just brought that he finished saying, he wants to say the guy's a oinus and he should not lose, and he does not lose his chusim. My shno, why is this halacha of matvas chiyos of bezin different than mehadatam from we learned in Mishnah and Gittim Daf Yomi Daf? It says over there, if a guy gives his wife a get when he goes out to his travels, and the shas he gives her the get, he says hareza giteich, and you should be megureshes me'achshav from now. But im betnaim lebasim mikan at shnei masar chodesh. If I don't return to my house after my travels after 12 months, then it should be a get. It should be a get me'achshav. So in other words, if he returns toich shnei masar chodesh, he gets not a get. And then what happened to him? He died in the middle of 12 months. So come to the Tanai of the sky because he never came home. However, it was because he was aynus. He died. And still the halacha is, what do you see the Mishnah says? Harez a get. It's still a get. See, if you want to say like Rava, that machmas aynus, that Tanai was in the sky, machmas aynus is not considered kima Tanai. L'chayra over here, why is the get chal? The guy was aynus, he died. We say, maybe the din of get is different. That although the kima Tanai was takachal ba'inus, still the get chal. You know why? Di have a yoda the miss. If we say that if he would know that he would die, toich zman min la'altar v'gomar v'yov gita. So Dr. Gemara, you have a separate svara in the case where a guy is giving get, but tonight he dies. Why? Because the whole idea, we say that min la'altar v'gomar v'yov gita. Had the guy known that he would die? Obviously he doesn't know, but if we would know, then we'd say right away we'd want to give a get. Why? Because he went out tonight. Why? Because his kavanah, his intention with giving a get is that if he dies, he doesn't want his wife to be yabim. So therefore we say, if he dies, the get is chal, right? The get's going to be chal. But the person at matzah chiyos with bezin, if he would know that oinus would happen, then he would not be mevatel his chusim. So basically, we go by what the person's intention was in making the tanai, and that's the Gemara's answering. That's going to be the difference. So Zak the Gemara. My shno, this why the Gemara Viter is asking on Rava that says that the guy does not lose his chusim, matfes chiyos bezdin, and the tainus einus works. So for the Gemara, my shno me'ahu, the Amar Lahu, this person that gave his wife a get, and he told the Eidim that signed on the get, if I don't come mikama until it's yomim from now until 30 days, it should be a get. The get should be chal. But if I come home inside of 30 days, it gets nachal. Asa, if he came if he came on the 30th day and he wanted to go into the city and he did not want to get to Bichal, Paskim Abra, and there was a bridge, he could not get over the bridge to get into his town. Amalahu Chazudasai, Chazudasai. So there were people standing on the other side of the river in his town, and they said, I guess they were maybe Adim or just whatever, witnesses that you could believe for whatever reason. They said, we saw that he came, but he couldn't get over the bridge. So Shmuel said that this coming over to the edge of the Nahar, but not actually getting into the city, lo shmei maseh, it's not considered like he came to the city. So kumta is a tanai is chal, and then Mela the get is chal. So the guy's tanai was, it should be a get if I don't come until 30 days, the get should be chal. And he didn't come till 30 days. So Shmuel's saying that's why they got chal. So frekti gemara, amay v'amenas honest. The guy was honest. He couldn't get over to the bridge. And l'chayra. So according to Rava, that learns that if a guy doesn't come out chas it's not considered that the tanai is kayim. So why is it get chal? L'chayra is a honest. Yeah, it's good kasha. And from the Gemara, Dilma into the Megal Yeshani. Remember, oinus that's common is different from an oinus that's not common. Why? Because he should have thought about it before that maybe a bridge is gonna hold him back from coming. Umabra migale unse is something that is common. It's common that sometimes you cannot get over a bridge. And he should have specified when he made the Tanai that if it's because of this Einus that he can't go over a bridge, he doesn't want to get to Bichal. And since he did not make since he didn't specify, we say that the get the Schal even if you have that Einus. But in an Einus which is not common, like his son getting sick, that's considered Eine Matzui. So we say, is loy Allah das before that maybe if someone gets sick, he's not thinking of things like that. So therefore, we say if he's nenas, he does not lose because of it. That's Pshat, like Rava says. So frekti Gemara Rav Huna that says matas chiyosov bezin and his nenas the halach is batuch chiyosov, which argues on Rava. Frekti Gemara michti l'chayr it's asmachti. It's an asmachta. Why? Because he relied on the fact that he's going to come back to Bezdin with his rayas. Asmachta leikanya. Asmachta is not koina. Because he did not have a mind to, in his mind, he did not really have a mind to be koina. So why does he lose his chusim? You say because he did not fulfill his word that he said, if I don't come back for 30 days, l'chayr it's an asmachta, because he was relying on the fact that he's going to come back to Bezin when Raya and asmachta leikanya, and the Gemara shani hacha the mitasvan chuson. This is different from another asmachta because he already took out his chusim from the shus of Bezdin, from his rishos, and gave them to Bezdin. And he already has, and he does have Gemiras Das to mevatel his zechusim, because he's making a Tanai. So it's not like he never had the zechusim and he's trying to find zechusim. He already had the zechusim and he already gave them to Bezdin. Bezdin already had his zechusim before he said he wants to go find more schusim. So, frekti Gemara, v'heicha de mitasvin lav asmachti, in the case where he already has schusim, you say it's not asmachta? But now we learn the Mishnah Basar Kaf Samach Chesem at Aleph. Misha para, mixas chayvay. if somebody paid up part of his debt to a malva, and the malva did not give him back the shtar, the malva did not give him back the original shtar that says he owes him money because he still owed him part of the shtar. However, the loiva did not want that the shtar should be in the hands of the malva because maybe he'll come back and tell him, "You never paid me. Pay me the whole thing." Where he ended up really paying him part of a partial payment. So the Mishnah says v'hishlish eshtarei. So therefore and instead of him saying, you know what, he didn't know what to do because the malva didn't want to give him the shtar because then the guy with the loiva might say, "I paid you in full," and the loiva didn't want the malva to keep the shtar because then he might ask him for all the money. So the hishlish eshtarei, he had the shtar in a third party, a third person. Va'amar, and the loiva said, if I don't pay this guy up the rest of the chayv from now until 30 days, then 10 loy eshtarei. Give back after 30 days. You can give the malva back the shtar, and he could collect all of it, even what I already paid him up. So halacha is, the Mishnah in Baba Basra Kufsam Chesman says, Higias Mamaloi Nasan. If it came in 30 days and the loiva did not pay up to this third party guy that held the shtar, if Yosef said you could give the malva the shtar and he could collect everything, even though the loiva relied on the fact that he's going to pay up the rest of the chayv to the third party and will not come to this situation where the malva is going to get a shtar back and collect everything. Why? Because you say asmachtas kainer. Rabbi Yehuda says that even if he did not pay up in these 30 days, in this 30-day window, lo yitain, should not give the third party, should not give the shlish, should not give the shtar back to the malva. Why? Because asmachta leikainos. Basically, it's a machlekes. Rabbi Yosef says asmachta is kainer. Rabbi Yehuda is saying asmachta is not kainer. But Amar Nachman who says Amarav, in halacha Rabbi Yosef, the halacha is not like Rabbi Yosef, which says asmachta is kaina. The Amar asmachta kanya. Rather, the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, asmachta is not kaina. And you see that even though he gave the shtar to a third party, you see Rav holds asmachta is not kaina, and it's Shver of Huna that says. And Shver of Huna that says not like Rav, which was his Rebbe. Because we just had the Rav Huna before that said that asmachta is loikanya. We just had Rav Huna. We had Rav Huda before that said not like that. It said that in this case, whereas matzah schusam, when he said asmachta is kaina. And over here we see that Rav, which was Rav Huna's Rebbe, says that asmachta is not kaina. So the Gemara answers, Ashani Elcha, it's different by the guy that's matzah schusam bezdin. The Amar lebatlon zachvasei. Because he's saying that if he doesn't bring rise in this 30-day window, his chusam are going to be batal. So the Gemara is saying it's like he's saying that whatever chusam I had till now are lies. So therefore, he cannot use them. So the Gemara, v'hilchasal halacha is asmachta kanya, asmachta is kaina. And if somebody obligates himself, is mechayev himself something to his friend, if he doesn't do some specific thing, and at the end he does not do that action, the his chayev is his chayev, he actually owes it to him. But it's not in all cases. It's only v'hudlei honest. It's only if it's not an oinus. If it was with his will that he was not mekayim, did not do what he had to do, what he said he was going to do. And also it has to be that he made this as chayvis with a kinyan in a chashav bezdin. I guess there was different powers in Bezdin. The Ran says that it was so strong in the Bezdin they were able to take out money, and like the Bezdin of Rav Ami v'Rav Asi. Okay, and there's different gather Rishonim. You find Rishonim speak about this something called a Bezdin Chashav. There's a regular Bezdin, there's a Bezdin Chashav. So the Gemara says, "Who the Kanim Minei Bezdin Chashav?" And because I guess it's Bezdin Chashav, it's a much more serious Bezdin. A guy is not just going to make a joke and say, "Oh, I didn't mean it," and this and that. We say the kinyan is going to work. So it's dafka is loy honest, and it's in a Bezdin Chashav. Then the halach is we say asmach the kanya.